Okay, I think we are live. So yeah, good morning,
Hello.
Trent, and yeah, welcome to the pub.
Hello, it's my first ever time on the pub. How exciting is that?
Indeed, yeah, I feel like you're almost the founder of the pub, as you did create the very nice background we have here. So
That is
yeah,
very true.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, good to have you here. So yeah, quite a few updates this week. Some really big ones actually. So we'll jump straight in. And the first one we're going to be talking about is line item custom properties, which I think if you listen carefully, you'll hear the cheers, because I know this has been something that's been asked for quite a while now. So I'll just add to the stream so you can see what this looks like. So previously with line items, it was a real pain. Well, you couldn't do it. You couldn't have custom properties or calculated and conditional properties. So to be able to have calculated and conditional properties is amazing, because previously you could kind of work around it with Ops Hub and custom code and a workflow, but it was very hacky, and you had to have Ops Hub. So yeah, this is a great addition to be able to calculate calculations on the line items and have conditional properties. So for example, if a certain product is selected, that could then make other properties conditional based off of that product. The example they give here is up in a material amount. So if you've got the material height and the material width as part of your line items, that will then calculate the amount based, by timesing those together and the quantity. So yeah, a real good update, this one. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think it sounds absolutely great. Like immediately, I got a couple of clients that come to mind who will definitely benefit from this. So yeah, I think it's definitely positive one
Yeah,
here. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, I think this one will be keeping us busy, because yeah, I'm the same. I can think of a client that springs to mind where you think, yeah, they're gonna be calling us straight after this and getting this implemented.
Definitely.
So yeah, a great one. And then what we got next? Help desk. This is really cool. So on the help desk now, you can filter based off of contact and company properties, not just ticket properties. So, for example, if you used the target account feature and you kind of got those tier 1, 2, and 3 on your companies, you can now actually filter that on your tickets to then kind of see the priority tickets if you wanted to see your tier 1 company tickets, but without having to create a sync property or something to the ticket. So I thought this was pretty cool. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, I really like this one. I think it would be great to see this kind of functionality come over to the deal view or any other objects. Like this is being able to filter on like an associated object is quite a nifty thing.
Yeah, that'd be mega. Yeah, it would just remove the whatever. I think in a lot of cases it would remove the need for having like sync properties if you could just filter.
Yeah,
I mean, sometimes you'd still need it if you need to include it in like as a personalization token. But yeah, from a filtering perspective, yeah, it is awesome that you can do this on the help desk. So yeah, I agree. It'd be great to see this on other objects. Next up on our list, I'll hand over to you on this one, is the flexible CRM views. So yeah, do you want to tell us what's changed here?
Yeah, flexible CRM views. So it's quite a nice update. It makes the table look a lot nicer. It allows you to add in different columns. I mean, you could already add columns in, but I suppose I don't know. Am I able to share my screen on here?
I've got the demo portal here, so there we go. I've got the.
So yeah, as you can see, you've got the three dots on each column. So if you click on that, you can actually add in other properties right there, and it gives you other tools like sorting, like ascending and descending. What else can you do? It also just like removes the God, I can't even remember.
How you can like remove the column from here without having to like reorder them.
Yeah, exactly. And instead of having to drag a column all the way to the side, you can.
Yeah, that's a game changer.
Yeah. It also allows you to view any of these objects in a calendar view, which I think is quite cool. So if you had what was the example we were talking about earlier? Oh yeah, so if you viewed a company, for example, you could see when their next scheduled meeting was, or any deals that are waiting to close, which would be quite handy.
Yeah, I think like renewal dates as well would be a really cool one to be able to see on a company view on a calendar, to get that overview of, if the deal might not necessarily been created yet, because obviously you've got the calendar view and the deal object as well. But sometimes, you wouldn't create the renewal until a certain period of time before the renewal is due, just so you're not clogging up your pipeline.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's cool to be able to see that on the company view. And
and there's also the really, really nice thing, which is the zebra stripes. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah. So if you click this little cog here next to the table view, you've got these additional settings now, and like you say, the zebra striping, which at first I was like, oh, you don't need to change that. But when you add it on, like for me anyway, I think I'm keeping that on. Like, it makes it so much easier to follow the line across.
I'll definitely be turning that on. That is for sure.
And we've also got the setting here for row heights, so you can make it really squished, and compact or comfortable, which is nice. The only thing is, I would like to have thought, like, say you went compact, it would have been nicer if you could then have more per page, because you can still only have 100 per page.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, anyway, nice features anyway. But yeah, I'm going to be leaving the zebra striping on.
Me too.
Okay, so what we've got next? Well, permissions, which is another one close to your heart.
Yes, absolutely. So the next one is workflows now have a permission set, a permission which allows you to only allow certain people to publish workflows. So they go through the same approvals, like what other things have approvals? Social posts, I suppose, or publishing landing pages and things like that. So I think this is kind of a long-awaited update. To be honest, it would have been amazing to have this a lot earlier on. I think it just makes sense that publishing workflows going through one or two central people that have a full understanding of all of the automations in your portal just kind of makes sense, really. As well, if you wanted to give people access to mess around with workflows and just see what you can do in workflows, but not actually affect anything in the CRM, I think it is a really handy thing to have.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, agree with everything you said there. Because I think there's been a recent flurry of permissions around workflows. Because if you've missed previous episodes where we've talked about workflow permissions, that there are these other permissions as well. So you can now have view, edit, and delete as well on workflows. So like you say, workflows are so crucial to how the CRM operates. It makes so much sense to have the permission to be able to actually publish a workflow, because publishing one by accident or without knowing the full extent of other workflows can be quite a dangerous thing to do. So great update. And next on our list is quite a cool one, is smart data capture. So this is, it's never, we always say when I'm doing the pubs with Matt, it's never a pub if we don't have a breeze feature. And this is our kind of AI feature this week, which is smart data capture. So like I say, the really cool one. So what this does is it uses AI to identify and suggest property updates based on call and meeting transcripts. So on a deal, for example, like in the example here, if I open this image up a bit bigger, it's they've got properties here called next step, and obviously you've got like the default deal description. Now, typically, like deal description might be something that a rep might not want to fill in because it's extra admin to have to fill in, type in what the deal's about, where they know what it's about, so they don't want to have to spend the time to have to type it all out. Whereas now they could use this new update, the data capture, where the AI has actually worked out what the deal description is based off of the call transcripts and the meeting transcripts that are all feeding into the object. So a really cool one. I think that's so clever. And I think also marketing people could really benefit from this, because it's really hard sometimes to be able to get case studies. Again, because it's a high admin thing. Like the salesperson needs to fill out all the details, where that's not their main priority. So you could create properties for like challenge or solution or result, for example. If that's your kind of format of your case study and then use the data capture AI to actually work out what those properties are based off of the history of the deal. So as long as you've got all the data going in, like we say with all these AI tools, it's so important that you're actually capturing this data and using like call transcripts and meeting transcripts. You'll be able to power some properties like this, which is really cool. What do you think of this one, Trent?
I really like this one as well. I think you already mentioned it doesn't take credits at the minute, does it? But it will eventually. But yeah, I really like it. I think it's an awesome thing, and to be able to, as you mentioned, take that out of sales people's tasks, extra additional time. Like it is a great thing.
Yeah, and I like that you can either accept it immediately or review it later. So it gives them the option there. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I did read somewhere that it's not using credits just yet. Yeah, access is free for beta testers during this phase, but future versions may have different pricing and packaging. And I think like what HubSpot say about kind of all their AI features, or especially with the agents, is that until HubSpot can kind of prove that it's actually doing work, they kind of won't charge credits. But once it is doing work, so like the prospecting agent and the customer agent, for example, they're like booking meetings, scheduling meetings, closing tickets, like they're doing work. So it's kind of fair, and I can see the logic there in charging credits. But yeah, this is a really cool feature.
Yeah.
Next up is jumping back to line items, is creating product bundles. So again, this is another one that's been asked for quite a while, I think. And kind of like it says on the tin, it allows you to bundle up some of your products into a bundle. So at the minute, you would have to add line items in one by one, whereas now you can create a bundle of line items. So for example, the example they've got here was a good one. So like installation or shipping. So say you were selling hardware and you've put in the deal for the big hardware deal, but you haven't actually put in the shipping and actually sending the hardware to the client. So you can automatically, if you select the hardware line item, it would automatically put shipping in, or it would automatically put installation in. So yeah, it just saves the salesperson or whoever's creating the quote a few more clicks, and removes that risk of forgetting to add something like shipping in. And it gives RevOps more control over pricing consistency, because they know those things are always getting added in. So a really good update. However, this is part of all the new Commerce Hub and the CPQ, so it is only available to Commerce Hub. But nonetheless, it is a great addition, and it makes Commerce Hub even more viable as an option for people if people are exploring that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's great. I think, we recently implemented a whole process using custom code, which automatically fills in line items, because we thought it was a bit too much hassle to select line items one by one. But with these bundles, who knows, maybe we didn't even need to do that in the first place. It's definitely worth some testing to see how it functions and how much time it actually saves. But
yeah, absolutely, yeah, that's a classic one, isn't it? You always build something and then they bring something out like this that solves the workaround, which is great. But it's just typically always the way, like just as you finish something. But yeah, I think this is a really good one. So you can see how those bundles work there. So you'd name your bundle and then select the products that are in the bundle. You can even pre-populate the quantities. So yeah, really cool.
That's great.
And then just finishing on a very short and sweet one, but I think quite a good one, is form submissions on the company record.
Oh yeah, that's just a nice simple one, isn't it? It's quite a nice quality of life thing to have on the company activity feed, just to be able to see. I haven't actually looked into the but I assume it tells you the contact record that has filled in the form. So it tells you the contact record that's filled in the form, which form it is, and then I guess you can click on that and see the actual details of the form submission. So it's just quite a handy thing to have, to be honest.
Yeah, some excellently named contacts here: Bob the Builder, Kathy Chef. I like these. Brad the Baker. But it is good. It gives you that real good overview of where all the what different contacts in one company are doing. So yeah, a really nice update. And is it that one? It's in private beta, so you've got to opt into that one to see that. So that's an easy opt-in if you haven't already. Okay, well, that is all we kind of had lined up for today's pub. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I think it was a good one. Some really good updates there, especially around line items. And it was great to have you in the pub, Trent. I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I loved it. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Yeah, no, we'll have to do it again. So until next time, yeah. See you next time.
Bye bye.
Cheers, Trent. Bye.